for independence in the pages of that pamphlet.
Some people watch makeup videos. I never watch makeup videos. I don't care about those things. I watch this on C-SPAN.
Common sense to be read aloud.
Thomas Paine, Common Sense.
He also adopts
Genius is not common, by the way, or else we wouldn't be in the position that we're in.
Might have recognized.
And since genius is not common sense, then that means that only a remnant have common sense. So maybe these people who really have common sense need to get together and start a revolution for ourselves. Change the world. The commoners will not change the world. They will wait on the pioneers and the leaders and the true trendsetters to change the world. People like Thomas Paine changed the world. Everybody just sat and watched. Sat and watched.
Independence seems suddenly imminent, necessary, and urgent. What's so clever?
This is almost like a Capricorn act. It's not almost. This is a Capricorn type of action. Common sense.
The arguments he makes are not self-evident truths. What he says is actually not common sense at all. He just tells you that it is. In fact, he's able to make you rethink what you thought you knew. And he uses the plain-spoken
and the woman said that
tavern goer to make you do so.
And again, as I said, to those who've never supported me when I gave you free promotion, we will not be doing that in 2023. Will the real men step up and support me, or either just sit your ass down and do what you do? But you will not be pimping me. Do I have to come and pimp slap the fuck out of you? Oops, sorry, Top Gun shit. Still working off the coffee. Yeah.
All of them.
I mean,
be swept away.
Yeah.
Paine denies the heritage.
So you ignorant mofo brothers, don't come at me with some stupid shit. And a woman should do it. You need to sit your ass down. Well, Saturn's got me sat down because Saturn knows, my mom knows, that Saturn energy knows that I'll slap a hoe when you come around me the wrong way today. That's why I love it when these planes fly over me. Okay, I love my troops, and apparently they love me too. And that's a real synergy. So who wants to fuck with me today? Sorry, mother. Ooh, it's Thomas Paine energy.
You're all a few steps ahead of me, right? Because you have all noticed
William the Conqueror of French is a bastard.
Monarchies, of course, do descend generation by generation from original acts of violence.
Will is a bastard. Okay, William the Conqueror is a bastard. Is a French bastard.
Invasions and conquests in which one king is simply killed or removed by an upstart young man who thinks he can do better. But so what?
Kind of like the hip-hop industry, who wants to make a mockery out of everything. You let the wrong people take over. You allowed that. And then you know what you did? You put your best women up on a block. You put your best women and your best supporters up on a chopping block. You promoted slavery within your own camp. Hip-hop rappers, you goats. Prove me wrong. But you want to prove me wrong by taking me out and sacrificing me and sending some bullshit person to make an offset, not offset, take out example of me? Daddy said, I wish you would. You will die tonight. Anyway, Thomas Paine. Just something I had to get out of my system. I'm still working the coffee off. My drive is the best. I love my crew.
Requires a great deal of confidence.
What are you watching today?
In fact,
Real Housewives or Hootie Who?
That he doesn't limit himself to the simple treason of attacking
That's not
King
a flex,
George.
that's a fact.
No, Paine attacks all kings as illegitimate. In fact, he doesn't even bother to mention King George III by name, referring to him in passing as the royal brute. Bold stuff from Tom Paine. Or take another major argument from common sense.
We in America are ran by people like the people we talk about.
Paine tells readers of common sense.
Who shall our next president be? I don't know, because either way I see fuckery, fuckery, fuckery. Prove to me that you're worth it.
He says.
I don't think you can. That would take integrity.
Really?
Anyway, I have nothing to do with it.
In the opening months of 1776, did any
Oh, this is a history class. Oh, wow, I'm teaching class again. This is what I do. I don't just teach TikTok tricks and shit like that. Or, look at my tits. Look at my grits. I need to do a dance. Holy, holy, ho, hidey, hidey. That's not my shit.
It is madness.
It is madness.
To think that. So
I'm too rich in the mind for this bullshit, and that's why men always try to diminish me, and they get these little trick bitches. They want to compare them with me. I told you I cannot be compared to your hoe.
Why not make peace?
You can't compare where you can't compete. You can't compete where you can't compare.
Eventually get paid. That this hated king.
Why did you even go there? He said, "Oh, I made a mistake. Can I apologize?" No.
Why not make peace? Patch things up.
You trust that trick with your bag, now you got no dough. Well, hey, you should have used common sense. That's why I told you common sense is not.
Paine,
well, genius is not common. And neither clearly is common sense.
Not upon the colonists to prove why they should be independent.
Reconciliation view now is a dangerous thought. It is. Reconciliating with who? Who shall we reconciliate? My enemy wants me to have a reconciliation or union with them? Oh, hell no. You sold me out for some chicken change. You tried to fuck me up in every way. And now I want to like, kumbaya, let us all just integrate and be happy. Fuck no, bitch. I remember everything.
The rule book about how you make arguments out of
when a white person says it, it's okay. When a black person says it, it's not.
Thing thought or said,
you people better watch how you treat me and talk to me. Or you'll see what type of Top Gun chick I really be.
In the pages of Common Sense, Tom Paine doesn't
Area 53 classified.
Authors. He doesn't quote people who disagree with him. He doesn't mention any constitutional theories about what is possible and what is not possible. Paine won't stand for any of that. We have it in our power, he writes, to begin the world again. So I think you can start to see, as I hope you can start to see, much of Paine's persuasive power rests not exactly in what he says, but in the way he says
these people want to come and have me sit at their table where they want to make a slave out of me. You want me to put you up on Soul School Cafe. How many of you offered me favor today, or even at all last year in 2022? When I was being hillsonged by everyone, where were you? Now that I pulled myself out of the mud and apparently haven't died, now you want to come in and say, hi, I'm doing this. After I say I'm doing this, then you're going to come on my timeline and on my platform? But were you even remotely warm and show me some favor? And I'm talking to everybody right now. All of you. I see you. I see the bullshit you really are.
Let us come to a final separation.
You're just as bad as the people who you say, they're coming after me. And it's racism. Well, you're racist to me. I'm talking to the niggas, okay?
Independence.
You know what you did to me. If not, you're stupid as fuck.
Common sense.
You're just like the cracker who would try to fuck me up, and that's not all to the ones who I actually like. Remember, I have like a little bit of white in me.
Island for government.
Well,
to be always running.
You don't want to know what my grandmama and grandpapa Johnny told me to say to you. You really don't. But they don't give a damn about none of you. Actually,
when obtained, requires 5 or 6 months to explain it in. Will, in a few years, be looked upon as folly and childishness.
Yeah, I am definitely in my alignment for this assignment.
It's impossible.
I know.
Like any good self-help book, and
so I'm going to be somewhere between Dr. Seuss Lorax and Thomas Paine Common Sense. Who else could put this all together?
America, he says, should abandon Britain.
Yeah, you should run for mayor. Of who? Of where? I don't want to run for social office because that means I would have to change, and you really would get me out. Because I don't play that game that y'all play. I don't play the political game. I just look and assess the bullshit that's lame.
Colonists write a proper Declaration of Independence.
I'm not a politician or a politician.
A manifesto that would summarize.
And I still say most people run for the money, not the change. Well, they run for their change.
Which we have ineffectively used to seek redress. Paine even proposed what he called
Yo, Charles, go get it.
to discuss
That's your lane.
and decide the precise future form of government.
Keep my
for this new
distance.
country.
You know why? But
the country he christened
you deserve that, right?
United States
You're the
of
only
America.
one I see at the moment.
And he was not shy about sharing his own preference that this country's new Republican government
So, sending you love from a distance.
franchise
If you need to do business, real
two
business with
elected
me.
assemblies
But, you know,
and
do
a
your thing.
rotating presidency
People know
to be
you.
chosen
You put in the
from
work.
among members of this Congress.
Unlike the
he
liars.
suggested.
Don't let nobody
Paine drafted
gaslight
this
you or hold you
pamphlet, Common
back.
Sense,
You
in the
deserve it.
fall of 1775.
And that's sad.
And it first appeared in
Anyway, that's all I had to say.
on
That's
June
my little
10th,
political
1776, priced at 2
we are
shillings.
this is Saturn
was too
ironically Saturn return. You
Nevertheless,
will learn, not you must learn, as
plenty
KRS-One would
of
say.
readers right
No, you
away.
will learn, as Val
That
Jones
first
would say.
printing sold out within
You
2
have
weeks.
no choice. God's not going to save you.
Printers
Allah's not going to
rushed
save you.
to print
Buddha's
more
not going to
and
save
so
you.
that
Clearly, your
profit while
president,
demand was
whoever you
high.
pick at this moment, none of the above
In all, we
will
know
save
that
you. You're going to have to
25
save you.
editions of
You better
Common
read that
Sense
book,
were
Thomas
published,
Paine, Common
in
Sense. Oh, I
13
forgot.
American
Y'all
cities
can't
and
read, but you
towns.
want to guide someone.
Helping it to
Men who
become
can't
the
even read,
best-selling
boys who can't
pamphlets
even
of
read
the
properly, want to guide a woman with your dick.
And its
You
effect
motherfuckers
on
ain't
people
shit.
that
You
read
better go for the
was
lower
widely
level minded
described as
trick,
dramatic.
which is what you do. That's why you get the hoe. I
By
get it.
March of 1776,
Because you too slow, so you want someone
a
who's slow
report
just
was
like you.
making the
Ooh,
rounds
am I talking to
in
you?
Britain
Why don't
that
you
back in
raise your
America,
bar? Because I'm not going to
Common Sense
lower
was
mine.
raised
Oh,
to
no, babies, not this time. And if you come for my money and try to get on my platform and you never show me love, then
So
fuck off, motherfucker.
were violent against the least idea of independence.
You don't get put above me. I don't lift you up on my back, and I damn sure ain't gonna let you into this. Y'all don't know me. Daddy gonna handle you, mama too. Oh my God, Saturn return, clear view. You don't know what's coming, but I do.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Like a drug. Paine's friend Benjamin Rush later recalled that the pamphlet's effects were sudden and
He was
extensive
hated.
upon the American
Most
mind.
innovators are.
It was read by public.
Most
Throughout the colonies, letters to newspapers would quote Common Sense. Editors of those papers reprinted
As I
excerpts
said,
from
even
Common
they
Sense.
said genius is
And
clearly
hundreds of
not
newspaper
common.
readers wrote
'Cause
in
common
to
sense
praise
isn't
the
even common.
pamphlet's style
And genius is
and
rare.
contents.
I think all of y'all too busy sucking each other
Is the
off to
author
even
of
care.
Common Sense?
But you know
Asked
what?
the reader in Rhode Island. I can hardly refrain from adoring him. He deserves
That's why you're
a
going to have to
statue
learn the hard
of
way.
gold.
What more can I say? I'm just a messenger
Paine, by the way,
letting
published
you
it
know
anonymously
that
at first.
change is going to come with you or without you.
Hence the
And
mystery
that's a
of who is
fact.
the author of Common Sense. While Common
Anyway,
Sense
I'm like
certainly
Noah,
spawned
pulling back.
several
My arc is
rebuttals
fine
by
and it's
loyalists,
I can't text no
those
more.
rebuttals were no match for this pamphlet's brute but lyrical power. Many skeptics were eventually won over. John Adams had first described Common Sense as a poor, ignorant, malicious, short-sighted, crapulous mass, as a piece of crap.
Because he was a Biden type
But
of a
even John
person.
Adams eventually had to acknowledge this pamphlet's extraordinary power. After the war
I
was
said
won,
what I said.
much later, Adams wrote that without the pen of the author of Common Sense,
Oh, I'm pretty sure
the sword
Trump
of
has never
Washington
read
would have
Common
been raised
Sense
in vain.
by Thomas Paine. Or may have. But his lane
Indeed,
is
this
business,
little
bad
46
business,
page
Trump
pamphlet
business,
would
whatever
soon
business.
pushed the members of the Second Continental Congress
So he has to share the
to
blame of
adopt
fucking America up
independence as
too.
the
But my God, you
fundamental
Biden supporters
objective
think that he's better than
of their
no. he's
escalating
not.
war with Britain.
Y'all better stop pulling for
Their July
parties. It's not
1776
Democrat against Republicans. It's
Declaration
stupid
of
against dumb.
Independence owed an obvious
Choose your
debt
side wisely.
to Common Sense.
But whatever you do,
Although Tom Paine himself,
I'm out of it. I'm not the one. I'm staying in my happy place. Because mom and dad said, get out the way. That means something is really coming through. Saturn and Pisces, regardless of what you believe, Jesus is not going to save you because this is an astrological, this is a celestial event that's really happening. But you need what, a white man from Africa to come and tell you? Or you waiting for Mr. Farrakhan to come and tell you? Or who are you waiting to come and tell you? I guess a black girl who actually looks like your archetype, except I'm a girl, right? I'm a grown-ass woman, dog. So you little bitch-ass boys want to come put me in my place? You better be glad that Remember, I got a loaded Glock with your name on
It was
a
as the
bullet.
Continental Army fell back
And I'm a
to
good
trenches.
shot.
Tom
They said,
Paine
you
authored
never
the
did this
first
before? The first
and
time I
most
went on
famous
range?
of the
No.
6
But I have
essays
muscle memory.
known as the American Crisis. These
And I still don't remember what
are
happened to
times
Atlantis. Or at least that's my story and I'm
that
sticking to
try
it.
men's souls.
Yeah, it is.
Paine wrote
These are the times that try
in
men's
that
souls and women's
3,000
souls.
word ode to patriot fearlessness. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny,
I suggest that
like
all
hell,
schools,
was not
all high
easily conquered.
schools, 10th
General
grade
Washington
and up, and
wanted
all
these sterling
colleges.
words from the
I mean,
American
colleges, you
Crisis
should have
by
been
Thomas
doing
Paine
this.
to be
I
read
think this should
to
be
his
required
first
reading
exhausted
from
troops
10th
as they
grade
made
on up.
ready to retreat.
I mean, me, I was reading
back
Thomas
across
Paine.
the
Reading that.
Delaware River
I
into
knew about that when
Pennsylvania.
I was in elementary school. Who told me
But by
that?
this
If it wasn't
time,
school, I guess
Paine
my
had
mom and
left the
daddy
army's
taught me, or I was
ranks,
reading it myself because I
having
told you I
served
really
long
am
enough
smarter
to
than you.
discover
But
that he
I'm
was
smarter
thoroughly
than you.
unsuited
Not a
to a
brag, a
soldier's
fact.
life.
And people want to limit me down, and that jealousy. See, that jealousy got
The
you ate
American
the fuck up.
Crisis essays
But do
cemented
you? I'm
Paine's
doing me.
reputation as a gifted
But I say all
polemicist and as
grades,
the chief
10th grade and
propagandist
up,
of the American
and all
independence
colleges
movement.
everywhere, it should be required
Yet Tom
reading
Paine was broke,
of Thomas Paine, Common
having
Sense.
made precious little money from
Yeah,
Common Sense
I know
or from
that.
any of the
I know
American
that feeling.
Crisis essays. So Paine now took on several new writing jobs.
So I guess this
after
was for
returning to
me.
Philly,
I get it,
none of
mommy. I
which
get it,
paid
daddy.
fortune or gave
But
him
once
much
again, I'm sharing it with
satisfaction.
you. But why? Because I know you won't get it. Because you're going to listen to the stupid rappers or the
bright
stupid
spot
actors or the
in
stupid,
his
you
life
know,
in these
the
years
stupid table talk
came
people or
in
the stupid
74
podcasters, the
when
stupid creative
the state
contenters
of
and
New
all
York
this and all that
awarded
shit.
him
And then when the weather
a
starts coming in
300
and
acre
it starts
farm
flooding
in
or
New Rochelle.
firing up or whatever, then you're going to
Who
go,
managed to
Jesus
bring
or Bell or
services to
don't
the
knock
nation.
on my door. Don't knock
The
on my
farm
door.
that the state of New York had confiscated for a loyalist
I don't
family
know you no
that it turned
more.
out.
Because you sold me
A year
under
later,
the bus,
General
and now the
Washington's
bus is coming
insistence
back for
Congress
you times
supplemented
4.
New York's gift
4
with an
angels in the
additional
sky, or is it 4
$3,000,
Leviathans? I don't know.
providing this immigrant, former corset maker, with a modest degree of financial security for
After
the
the
first time in his
revolution,
life.
takes new writing jobs in Congress and the Pennsylvania Assembly as a
And
lobbyist
with that
for...
financial independence, Paine found the freedom to embark on a long, slightly quixotic
So,
and strange campaign to get a single
to the remaining
arch
Rockefeller
iron bridge
heirs.
built across the Schuylkill River.
Hi.
A project that he hoped would kickstart infrastructure modernization projects across
What
the
would
new
he
nation.
do?
He went back and forth to England and France to look for funding and patrons for this bridge project, but sadly,
You can't
he
look in the
turned up
same old
empty-handed
places for
each
new
time.
funds. You got to go
By
to
the
new
time He
territory.
admitted that his bridge project was a failure. It was 1791. By then, Paine was living
And in
in London once
2023,
again,
we have learned nothing
and
from
was
history.
vowing to renew his radicalism.
And you
into
wondering why the
doing his
world
writing
is falling
career
apart.
by penning
But not
a
really,
pamphlet
but it
that could
is.
do
It
for the
depends on what side of the
political
coin you're on.
consciousness of the British people what common sense.
All I know
used
is
to be done for the
Daddy,
American
God told me to
colonists.
pull back. So I cannot help any of you. But I will say again, you come and like put stuff on my page
The
and
first
you have
part
never even shared a
of this
post.
new work,
You never
The
even liked a
Rights
post.
of
You
Man,
never even comment, or you
the first
watch
part of
but
the
you don't
Rights of
comment. You don't like it. Even
appeared
if
on
you
the
don't agree, then
shelves
why
of
are you
British
watching me? You watch the
bookstores
whole video, but you don't even
in
like.
April of 1791.
I see what you're about. Right?
Dedicated to George Washington, the hero of the American Revolution, the Rights of Man attempted
Y'all
to
got
stir
caught up.
in Britain
You can't hide from
the
that.
same sort of revolutionary radicalism seen in America and in France,
I didn't sell out myself like
echoing
that.
his previous attacks on monarchy and feudal aristocracy.
Oh man,
This new
I
work, The
remember.
Rights of Man, dares British readers to embrace
remember, Mom and
republicanism. Come on in, the water's lovely.
I remember what I was
Calling for
going to do
British readers
myself.
to install an elected head of state, an elected legislature, a written
Got it.
constitution,
I got to go.
and
That's
a
it.
universal franchise for all adult men. Radical stuff.
Radical
Like
stuff.
Common Sense before it, Rights of Man, his new work, burned with outrage and sparkled with diamond-hard prose.
We think differently.
Aimed at the sort of working people who
we
usually
vibe
ignored
differently.
high politics.
I don't need some smoky-ass, token, smoking, drunk-ass motherfucker to tell me who I be. If that's what you need and that's what you do, fine. But don't play with me like that. I'm way out of your league.
Of Republican
way out of your league.
In England. That goes back centuries.
That's what you get for turning your nose up at me and thinking I'm beneath you when I'm 10 light years over you.
But it was Paine's attempt to
if you knew what I could really do
to the masses,
it would scare
in
the
plain
fuck
spoken language that they could actually understand, that made this new work, The Rights of Man,
I'm not Jesus.
So momentous when it was published, and so, of course, controversial. And The Rights of Man sold like gangbusters. 50,000 copies in the first 3 months. In England alone.
I'm more like that Mary Magdalena.
Even the British Prime Minister, William Pitt the Younger, found time to read it.
And that's why I like swords
to a friend that
and dragons.
Paine is quite right.
I'm radical, remember?
I'm the Prime Minister. As things are, if I were to encourage Tom Paine's opinions, I should have a bloody revolution on my hands. Those fears of an English revolution soon escalated as more and more English readers began demanding the sorts of civil rights that Paine had championed. And as news arrived in London...
What? No, they hate me now! I don't care. Those hoes hate me now, bitch. Nobody wants you or your trick.
Of radical leveling,
that trick can't do shit about
the
me.
English Channel from France and turning the English working classes into murderous, guillotining mobs intent on executing rich people. Prime Minister William Pitt's administration.
No, we're not doing that.
Now hastily passed a series of homeland security laws.
I hear thunder.
To limit
I gotta go.
Free speech
Daddy says that's enough. Baby girl is like baby girl that set open the table. Now let me come on through and do what I gotta do. Thank you, sir.
No kings, one Londoner shouted in a coffee house. He was promptly sent to prison for 18 months for that speech act. And Pitt's government that had passed these laws went after Tom Paine himself, the author of The Rights of Man, with all they had. Pitt's government funded a smear campaign in the press that defamed Tom Paine as ugly, smelly, and cruel.
Sounds and feels familiar.
As a wife beater, as impotent in his marriage bed, and as having instead a fetish for having sex with cats.
Isn't it funny how some smear campaigns don't change?
The papers published cartoons rendering Tom Paine
Hillsong by any other name is still the same game.
Monster.
Politics is a dirty sport.
Many of them suspiciously identical.
That's why I don't do politics and politics.
Denounced Tom Paine in the English papers
I do therapy.
As a liar, as a traitor,
first for me,
and as a terrorist.
Because you shown me your traitor inside. You know who you be. Bitch, you come after me, I will kill you.
Trailing him wherever he went.
Oh God, Val, you said that on public media minutes.
AstroTurf crowds.
That's why I'm in therapy.
Thugs paraded Tom
praying every day to God and Goddess, every day and every night, because they know how they made me. I don't depend on none of these muggles around here. Look, who am I depending on? Who has stood up for me? So you just got little old me standing up for me, but it's not me. I'm not alone.
So in September of 1792,
I just had to get the weeds out, prune the weeds out my garden, and realize Caesar is home.
Sailing from Dover in England to Calais in France to escape the long arm of His Britannic Majesty's government. 3 months later, in December, that British government took... I'll start that again. 3 months later,
anyway, I gotta
that British government put Tom Paine on trial.
I need to read some book you can't read. You know, I'll do another audiobook soon.
In his absence, they found him guilty. And in his absence, they sentenced him to exile after the fact. He'd already gone.
I'm already there. I know, after he's already
Paine would spend
gone.
the next decade in France.
I'm not going to France.
He would never return to the land of his birth.
I get that. I get
Paine
that.
arrived in France.
I get that.
Armed with not one, but 4 letters of introduction from
The
Benjamin Franklin,
snake.
who was well known in France.
1792 to 1795. It's the
Tom Paine quickly gained
synchronicity.
entree to France's highest.
Anyway, I gotta go. That's your history class today from V.
Took up a position
Yeah, that's what I do. A
representing
little bit of
Calais
therapy, history
in
too,
the
and a little bit of poetic
Revolutionary
justice, all in front of you.
Assembly.
Yeah, they say they can do what I do, then do it,
To which
bitch.
he'd been elected months earlier.
Why are you watching
in
me?
honor of his authorship.
Now, once I
of the
put this
Rights
up on
Man.
my Soul School Cafe, watch somebody put some, and I'm gonna delete you again.
But that did
If you're
not
not
go as
at least
expected.
even like it, energy is energy. Time
Paine
is
spoke
money.
little French.
Energy is money. Everything is
And he had
money.
trouble keeping
Money,
up
money,
because the
money.
French
Saturn is about
Revolution
tangibility,
rapidly
not Bitcoin
radicalized
tangibility,
and
not
accelerated.
NFTs tangibility. Like, can I help you with
Paine
your
made the
Forex?
great
No, we're in a
mistake of
tangible
speaking up in
season.
favor
It's
of
about what it
sparing
is right now.
King Louis XVI
Not what you're
from
gonna
the
do, what you could do. What are you doing right now? How are you changing your life right now? I want to be a butterfly and I want to be a millionaire. What are you doing right now? Are you working? Are you sucking off somebody? What are you doing to save yourself? If you're not trying to save yourself right now, you're going to get left behind. But hell, y'all don't believe that. So go ahead and pray to your Jesus and think Jesus is going to come back right down the line and save you. All
What we
right.
call the reign of terror.
Those people that drowned in the Red Sea thought that Jesus was going to save them too. Didn't happen though, did
And
it?
then he picked up his pen. He
pen
drafted
is a
the
powerful
first
thing.
part of The Age of Reason, the third great work for which this man is still remembered today, and completed that manuscript and got it to a printer only 6 hours before French police came to his door to drag him to a Paris prison
There is
cell
one person
for
I
his
would like to talk
dissenting-
born on the same
This
date
third work, The Age of Reason Part 1,
as
is in some
well,
ways his
anyway,
masterpiece.
never mind.
An astonishing, virtuoso denunciation of atheism, which next of a French Revolution
Thomas
brought
Paine
amok.
was a genius.
Paine wrote
You know, there's
eloquently
something to be learned from history.
about how a loss
It's
of
that people
faith
don't
in
learn.
God could
That's why you
extinguish
suffer
human
tragedies.
compassion,
And
selflessness,
that too is a
morality,
lesson that I just gave you for
virtue,
morality,
and
ethics,
grace,
virtue,
and could turn
grace.
society into nothing but a gathering of beasts.
Here
This
we go
conception of the power of faith
again.
was a pretty mainstream view in the 1790s,
Clearly, it's a
only really
mainstream view
controversial in
now
France
in
itself,
2023.
because of the spread of atheism there
Y'all
over the
follow
past few years.
celebrities and whatever, do you? I'm doing it.
Christianity,
Yep.
so far so good, right?
Talked about Jesus Christ, how he paid with his convictions for his life. He was an amiable
trouble
man who
was,
fought and paid
The
with his
Paine
life.
kept going.
Yeah.
And The Age of Reason, his third work, is controversial because of everything else that he had to say about Christianity in particular and about organized religion in general. Paine was not a fan.
You know, when you step into your calling,
Jesus Christ, he wrote, was not divine.
that's part. He's clowning on these churches. He's clowning on these churches, and the Bible wasn't written according to the Word of God. It was written by maniacal priests that wanted to rule everybody. That shit is the truth. That's why I keep telling you, you can't like just.
I believe in one God and no more. And I hope
Y'all don't want to hear this truth. You don't want to hear this truth. Oh my gosh, I am in my calling. Oh Lord. Oh.
I believe that religious duties consist in doing justice,
Okay.
loving deism.
Woo!
A
My
variety
own
of
mind is
spiritual
my own
belief
church.
was very common
Woo!
in highly educated
Critic and
both Britain and America.
My
in
own
the
mind is my own
1790s.
church.
And it's a type of faith that we
I
now
am the
call
new
maybe
Thomas Paine.
intelligent design or something like that. Edward Gibbon, David Hume, and Thomas Jefferson were also self-declared deists, like Tom Paine. Though those other dudes had the good sense to surpass all records, in fact breaking records set by the rights of man 2 years earlier. Church leaders now denounced Paine with acid and thunder. And the Age of Reason attracted at least 50 rebuttals, charging its author, Tom Paine, with being either an infidel.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. I get it. I get it.
Paine
I am like the new
himself
Thomas Paine.
in an
Oh,
8
wow.
by
Oh,
10-foot
wow.
cell on the ground floor of the Luxembourg
Okay.
prison.
No, I'm not
former
on.
royal palace
Everybody who
in
gets
Paris,
it. Read Thomas
now
Paine, The
repurposed
Age of
by
Reason,
French
read Common
revolutionaries
Sense,
for
and The Age of
political
Reason.
prisoners,
Read.
was still unfinished when the American ambassador in Paris, James Monroe, finally secured Tom Paine's release after 10 long, terrifying months behind bars.
Oh, we're not doing that.
Paine had grown weak and ill in prison.
Mom and Dad not
Ravaged
gonna
by
let you do
typhus,
that.
by fevers,
Mom and
by a
Dad gonna clap
festering
back.
wound in his belly that would not heal.
But I think the 10th grade on
So
up.
Paine finished
Read
The Age
Thomas
of
Paine,
Reason
Common
Part
Sense, and The
2
Age of Reason, Part 1 and Part
in
2.
the U.S. ambassador's
That
official
is-
residence.
I'm giving you like
Publishing it,
diamond
Part 2,
gospel right
in
now,
October
but it's up to you.
1795.
You can take the gift, or you can keep doing what you do. But
it
remember,
shared many of the
Saturn or
same
God
big
or Jesus
ideas.
or Allah,
It is not
nobody's
the
going to help
Part
you.
1.
You just,
An obsessive
what
rant
would Jesus do mean? I just
with
gave
none
you
of the first reasons miracle
some Blues Clues.
evocation of the
Blues.
spiritual to be found in natural philosophy.
My mama's birthstone, Topaz, blue
If
topaz.
there is a reason for Paine's reputation
Don't think
to
just
be
because people are wearing blue today.
beyond
Oh, we're
English
aligning with that. I don't know
wanting
none of these motherfuckers. I don't
and
know none of
Americans
them.
wanting
You
Christianity,
see who I'm with, and you see who I know.
his former friend, this gentleman, President George Washington. And in that open letter, Tom Paine blamed George Washington personally for failing to rescue him sooner from prison. And then, hypocritical, hermaphrodite faculty that was devoid of principle.
He's talking about Washington, George Washington, the
When
first
this
president who
poison
really
pen
wasn't the
letter,
first
which
president.
Paine sent to Washington on Washington's birthday,
This is
into
didn't
the
look like
pages
you
of
while
the
you're mad at
American
me.
press. Read his residence.
I get it.
One
Mom.
of the things he wrote deserves our attention now,
I get it.
before we follow Paine home.
I get
The
it.
thing he wrote that I'm talking about is called Agrarian Justice. Paine wrote, written as a rebuttal of a famous English clergyman's sermon praising the division between rich and poor as a sign of God's wisdom, Agrarian Justice by Thomas Paine.
Your
Where
daddy.
else?
Okay. That's
to provide
enough. I gotta
7
go.
basic entitlements.
I probably shared more than I needed
that
to,
together
but at
might
least you
shield
can't say
the
you didn't know.
nation's poorest
Thomas
and
Paine,
most vulnerable
required reading,
from the
10th grade on
ravages
up.
of market
I know you won't do
capitalism
it though, but hey.
on their 21st birthday.
This is brilliant.
Third, he proposed much smaller one-time
Agrarian
payments to newly
justice.
married couples,
The forgotten
and further
masterpiece.
small
This is
payments
brilliant.
for each child they brought into the world.
7. The
Fourth,
forgotten masterpiece.
he proposed
7.
eliminating all taxes on poor people earning below a
Oh
minimum
my
annual
God,
income.
this is brilliant. Y'all have the
Fifth,
plan
he
all along, but
proposed
you don't
a
want the plan.
government
You don't
run
want solutions.
back
You
to
want the
work
lie.
scheme
You want to play the game.
that
Okay.
could find temporary employment for those
Okay.
out of work.
Then know that you
That
you
could
won't get the
provide room
change
and
then.
board
You
if
will do
needed.
well, you'll get the change. The change is gonna come. But
He
you know you'll
proposed
be suffering,
pensions of
everyone.
£6 a year for
Y'all want a
seniors
world
over the
war,
age
a
of
civil
50,
war, it's gonna
but
be
then
right here.
rise to £10 a year
Never mind.
for those who made it to the age of 60. Seventh, he proposed a one-time death benefit to surviving spouses to cover the cost of funerals. Drawing on his experiences back in England of being a tax collector many decades earlier, Paine
Y'all keep going and
even
sucking and fucking. I'm like,
costed all of this out.
I'm remembering
He did the math.
why I
He
study
demonstrated to
political
readers of
science,
agrarian justice
political
that
science
all
and
this was
history.
actually quite
'Cause I'm that
inexpensive. And it could all be readily
I am
paid
Thomas
for
Paine.
if the British Parliament would implement a graduated income tax, put in place an estate tax on the largest fortunes, and downsize the British military budget, which was enormous.
This is good shit.
It would be worth it, Paine explained, almost giddy with excitement. All it would take would be a few pieces.
Why don't you so-called geniuses never talk more about this? Oh, I know, because you too are a trick.
Beggars and ragged and hungry children.
Gotcha.
And investing in the education of young people would pay back huge dividends in the longer term.
I don't think you do.
A nation under a well-regulated government should permit none to remain uninstructed, Paine wrote. It is monarchical and aristocratical government only that requires ignorance for its support. What I'm laying out here from the pages of Agrarian Justice is an extraordinary social justice manifesto for any 18th century person to imagine. And importantly, it is not proto-Marxism. Quite the contrary. It is a non-Marxist critique
when you
of the free
actually
market
bring solutions and tell the truth, they will always crucify you. That is the never-ending story. But Daddy and Mommy said, what you did in 2022, you will do no more. You blew that. You coming for me? You be R.I.P. first. That's my warning to you. You better watch what you do and hug your kids. Because the yard is coming through again. Still, it's like Pesach every day.
Paine's ideas went nowhere.
Remember, I told you that, okay?
His name was already mud in legislative circles in London. And he just insulted the President of the United States.
The lotus is growing out of the mud again.
Agrarian Justice. And it was hardly the best.
We're the black men that's supposed to stand up for this black queen. Oh, you're all sus. You know what I mean? Because I'm smarter than you, and you hate it. Because you don't want a real smart queen on your team. You want the dumb, stupid, tricky ass bitch. Well, good luck.
For the 20th century,
I got better
of the modern welfare state in Britain, France,
more security for the American family.
To discover for themselves.
The Social Security Board. Ooh, Lord. Damnation. Woo!
Tom Paine sailed for America in 1802. After President John Adams, one of his fiercest critics, lost his re-election bid to...
Anyway, I gotta go. This is history class show. I hear Daddy. Your mom. Study more. Or do you? I don't give a shit. Anyway, peace out from that shit. Yeah.